Hi, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore. Come to you with some more non-for-profit information. I don't know if you like me. I am a history buff. I just love history. My favorite subject in high school was science, and my second favorite was history. My least favorite was mathematics. So I am Dr. Eurydice Moore. Eurydice, we are a MBE, WBE certified consulting firm. We're located in the city of Chicago in the East Lakeview community, also known as Wiggly Field. This is where we at. So, what do? I am a business consultant, 501c3 nonprofit specialist, and a grant writer, and just recently a government contractor. So, you see coming across the screen some information. Okay, my website, phone number, email. Please like this video, share it, and then hit that notification bell so you will be notified of any video that I do. So far, I have been doing videos on non-for-profit. I talked about the different types of nonprofit. Now I'm going to talk about how it all got started. And I have this book. I hope you can see it. Ah, God, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm disappearing, reappearing. Okay, my screen will not allow me to show it. Okay, I gotta, oops, hold it back. Okay, I can hold it this way. Non non-profit business. You can go to Amazon, put my name, Eurydice Moore, and then put books and all the books that I have written. You can get my books Amazon or Borders or McClure Publishing Company. I've been reading from this book. This book, I think the green is messing with my background. This book tells you how to set up a non-for-profit, and I will be going through this book. You want to get your own copy, you know. So, what we're going to talk about is how did the nonprofit come into existence? Whether one wants to admit it or not, the non-for-profit origin is associated with the Jewish people after the Great Exodus. For those of you Bible buff, you can go to Genesis, no, Exodus. I'm sorry. You can read the book of Exodus. Genesis is the creation of man. You can read the book Exodus, and it will tell you once Jews and they left Egypt, and then they went into Canaan, which later on would be Israel, the promised land. Each tribe had their own parcel of land, and each family unit had their own strip of land that had been planted. And due to a bountiful harvest, the children of Israel were a group of agricultural people. God had commanded them to remember the poor, those less fortunate, and allowed them to glean off the land. Whenever a brother or sister was sold into slavery at an appointed time, they were supposed to be released from their debt and have charity extended towards them. You can read more about charitable acts there was a requirement to perform in one of the books of Moses entitled Leviticus, where laws were given to them by God. We follow many of the Levitical laws today. You can read about sanitary laws, dietary laws, civil laws, moral laws, spiritual laws. See, the children of Israel was under the Egyptian culture, and God delivered them from Egypt and promised Abraham, Isaac, and land, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob land for their descendants. And there they would be a group of people. God would give them what is known as the Torah or the Bible. And then they would learn his statutes, his ordinance, his teaching. They would learn how to live and be no longer have the residue of Egypt and slavery and bondage upon them. If we fast forward past biblical times, we will discover that charitable, educational, religious, non-for-profit are thousands of years old, and the largest is the Catholic Church within the United States of America. NFP, also known as non-for-profit or not-for-profit or non-governmental organization, those are common terms to describe charitable organization. Thousands of years old, and the largest is the Catholic Church. Non-for-profit establishments date back as far as colonial time. Among the first is Harvard University. In fact, over 90% of the non-for-profit, also known as non-governmental organization, not-for-profit, have been established since 1950. However, non-for-profit did not become regulated and unified until the early 1970s. We're talking about how non-for-profits came about. In addition, numerous churches in England conducted charitable activity. Each church formed a group of people who did not want to be ministers or church workers. See, a lot of churches carried out feeding, clothing, housing the poor. Churches did that work. But then group of people came forward and they didn't want the religious side of non-for-profit. So they developed organization where they just focus on the work and not the work of the soul. Okay, they wanted to do work outside the confinement of the church. In other words, they wanted the opportunity to provide services without having to be a church. The scope is wide, from small grassroots with no access to non-for-profit with multi-million-dollar structure, university, and religious order. The NFP, also known as non-for-profit or not-for-profit or non-governmental agency, support a range from private contribution, sales from goods and some services, grants, and governmental agency. The term NFP covers sorority, fraternity, Mason, association, cemeteries, civil groups, scientific research groups, hospitals, symphony, and even Alcohol Anonymous is known as a non-for-profit organization. Then you have educational, charitable, religious. Okay, any group that has a charitable aspect can be deemed an NFP, non-for-profit, and is eligible to apply for the 501c3 tax exempt status, which is coveted. I'm going to talk more about this. I'm reading information from my book. You can't see it because of my screen. This book is titled Not for Profit Business by me. You ready to see more? And I'm going to read some more. I'm going to see how many more pages we got before we go into the next chapter, where we have to be for another day. And upcoming chapter, upcoming video, we're going to be talking about board development, developing boards. And that'll probably be a brief video. Okay, what you need to know about nonprofit. Okay. There are many different types of nonprofit, and I already went over those. I read those to you, but I don't mind reading them again. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, Okay, I told you sorority, fraternity, Mason, association, cemetery, civil group, scientific research group, hospital, symphony, alcoholic anonymous, education, charitable group, and religious, churches and ministry. I just described the different types of nonprofit. And then in a previous video, I described some more nonprofit. So the first thing you got to decide is what type of nonprofit would you like to see operating in your community and that you would like to spearhead. That's the first thing you have to do. Um, okay, we just got a little bit more. This is going to be a short video. I might be able to get 3 videos in today. Uh, Okay. There are many different types of non-for-profit, and some will surprise you. The most common are churches, ministry, hospitals, social service agency, and most schools. There are largest civic centers, the arts, cultural center, multimedia centers, research organization, and others. You may wonder how a hospital is a non-for-profit, yet people are billed. Well, when you are serving a community and you do not turn anyone away, services are being rendered to those who can pay and those who cannot pay. Annually, hospital review records and forgive a percentage of large debts. Therefore, they can be listed as a non for profit. However, not all non for profits are tax exempt. You must qualify and read the Internal Revenue Service Publication 557 for eligibility requirement. What is certain is that you must be incorporated prior to filing form the 1023, which is the 501c3 application, and you must meet certain standards. So, so you could be determined to be a non-for-profit and recognized by the 501c3. It is imperative to become incorporated with the state in which you intend, for the non-for-profit to operate and provide services. If you operate in our cult, you can be shut down, receive a fine and penalty, and be barred in some instances of ever operating a non-for-profit. Now that you are aware of the legality, you need to determine what services you intend to provide and to what target group, along with specific location. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is what would you like to do? Determine what you like to do. Get a group of people that's like minded that want to be a part. Then you need to come up with a name. Please don't come up with no name this long. Okay, you can't even see my fingers. All right. Very long names because your name has to fit the form. And when you select a name, you need to select a name that within the name it would kind of describe your mission. Example, ABC Food Depository. All right. When I see that or funders see that, then they know that uh, food is involved, the distribution of food. Or you could put Morris After School Program. All right. All right, they're letting you know after school that's usually associated with adolescents, usually associated with children and youth. So it's gonna be some type of program or activity to keep children and youth off the street. So select a name that within that name you can have the mission. As another example, Heidi. Heidi Safe Place. Okay. So you know Heidi is a female name. Safe place that give you an idea. When you see that place, that give you an idea of a site for someone to be, and this may possibly be a shelter. So pick a name that Somehow you can have the mission of the nonprofit within that name, and then you want a short name because you need to be able to put the name on the form. You only got so much space. So, and then after, you need to come up with 3 names and then do a name check. You need to check and see if that name is available. And who would you go through? You would go through the Secretary of State to determine if that name is available. And if it's available, then you're good to go. If it's not available, you need to select another name. If it's not available, but you really, really want that name, you just add another name to it, and you will be able to keep the name. Okay. So, all right, I talked about the name, and so I'm gonna stop here. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. And then in my next video, I'm going to talk about some funding for people that need food, clothing, and you need your rent pay. I'm going to give you information on that. Okay, so I am Dr. Eurydice Moore of Eurydice. We are an MBE, WBE certified consulting firm. And my information is scrolling across. And it has the website, phone number, email, it got all of that. Okay. So you could tune in. Okay. You could tune in to me. Uh so please like this video, share it with others. If you know people that want to start up a nonprofit, I'm reading from a book that tells you step by step. You can purchase this book from Amazon. It's called Nonprofit Business, or you could put my name, Eurydice Moore Books, in Amazon, or you can go to McClure Publishing Company to acquire this book. And this book tells you actually how to set up a nonprofit. And I am available because, after you hear all this information, you may like, this is too much. I got too much going on. I don't want to do this. You can hire me. You can hire my staff and, my business partner. I have a team, and we can do the work for you. We could be your legs, and all you have to do is just sign off a thing. When you sign on with me, you get a consultation. Then I listen to see if what you want to do is feasible, fundable, feasible, fundable, feasible, fundable. Does it make sense? Can you do it? And are there funds available to support or at least get you started in your purpose, your mission, your heart desire? So once again, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore, and my contact information is scrolling. So see you as you were.